All right, in this video, we're going to show how to use DotLoop to submit a listing for review to compliance auditing. So here we go. This particular example, we're going to use this property here. And the top section, this is actually the contract to purchase the property. And down here is the actual listing documents. Now, the first thing I do is I actually open up two different DotLoop tabs, because I have one open right here that actually shows the new listing checklist. And then I have a second one open where I can actually work on the files. So you can have two sessions of it open at a time. So we're going to start here. First thing is make sure all of this is filled out. So I need the listing date. In order to find the listing date, I'm going to go to the original listing contract. Oops, that's the amendment, sorry. I need to go to the listing agreement. And it was from February 4th. So I'm just going to put that date right here. And that part's good. And then I'm going to move on with all of these items. Now, it's important to note that all of these items that are in bold should be in the file, and these are just ancillary documents. So we're going to start with the listing agreement, and it's going to go at the top. So here's the listing agreement, and it's going to go right here just underneath the checklist, and then any amendments to the listing. And let's see, do I have any amendment? Look at here, I have a listing contract amendment here, and I'm just going to open it up to look at it. And that's all fine. And it's already in place where it needs to be. The MLS agent only printout. Let's see, do I have that in here? It doesn't look like I do, but did I have it up here somewhere where I could copy it? It doesn't look like it. So what I'm going to do is just pause here. I'm going to go over to Maris, and I'm going to go to my listings, and here it is right here. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to go to print. I'm going to do agent only format, print to PDF. And on my computer, it opens it up in the browser. It maybe do something different on yours. So once it opens in my browser, I'm just going to click download, and it's going to go right to my downloads folder here, and I'm just going to rename it MLS agent only 10136 Lake Ridge, and then I'm going to hit save. So now I've got it in there. So I'm going to go back to DotLoop under the listing folder, and I'm going to hit add document, and it should be right here at the top of my downloads, and there it is. Now remember, that needs to be just underneath any of the amendments right here. So I'm going to put it right here, and that's done. Okay. Next, I need the affiliate disclosure. Here it is, and I'm going to move it right here, just underneath the previous one. I need the lead-based paint, or I'm sorry, the seller's inspection authorization, and that's going to go right here. Now, sometimes if it's in an unincorporated area, they still need to sign it, but there may not be any inspections, and that's okay, but they have to at least sign it. So I've got that one in place. And next, I need the lead-based paint and the seller's disclosure. So I'm going to find the lead-based paint and put it right here. And you can rename this if you want and just call it LBP or lead-based paint. And here's the seller's disclosure. Again, you can rename it if it makes it easier for you. just like that. And now all of these are in order. So the question is, well, what about all of this other stuff here that's in the file? Do we need that? We don't need it for compliance, and none of those documents fall under any of this stuff. So we just leave them in the file and it's just fine. So now I have to initial each of these places to show that I have done it. I usually like to start at the bottom, because if you start at the top, it's harder to go down and sign. So I start at the bottom. Sign now. Sign. 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 And sign. Now, if something wasn't included for some reason, like if there was no seller's disclosure, we still have the seller fill out a seller's disclosure. And on the last page in the general comments section, we just put something like, seller has not occupied property, or seller is selling property as is, which is kind of what it's denoted here. But in this case, it was just a regular seller's disclosure that was filled out, and we don't need any of these other things. You know, it's probably a good practice just to check these boxes, and that's it. So you're going to hit save. And now if I go over here, and you'll see, if I click on new listing checklist, there everything is. So next, I can click on submit for review. Fill this out, if it's not already filled out. And I've got a bunch of folders in here, and some of these are older, so I'm not submitting these. In fact, I can probably go archive these, which I'll do, and I'll actually include that in this video. But all I'm doing for now is this one right here, which is the listing, and then I'm going to hit submit. And that pretty much takes care of that. Now I'm just going to do a little house cleaning here. I don't know why that says copy, but I'm going to get rid of that. And on these here, I'm just going to archive these so that they're not confusing to the compliance officer that's doing the review. And that is how we do in DotLoop a seller for the listing checklist to submit for review for compliance.